Good morning, my dear students. Welcome to your EVS 1 class. So, children, we will continue with the chapter Plant and its Environment. In our last class, we have talked about habitats. So, what are habitats? What did we learn about habitats? We learned that the areas in which plants grow comfortably, that is, where they get the areas where they get all the suitable conditions to grow, are known as habitats. Today we are going to talk about terrestrial and aquatic plants. Okay. Now, first of all, what are terrestrial plants? So, what are terrestrial plants? The plants that grow on land are known as terrestrial plants. Now, the plants which are growing on land, now when we talk about land, we can mean the mountains, the plain areas, we can talk about deserts, coastal regions. Any kind of plant which grows basically on the land are known as the terrestrial plants. Okay, so as for example, if we talk, we are having the plants growing in mountains like the apple trees. Then the coastal areas, if we talk about the coastal areas, the coconut trees are there, right? And in desert we have the famous cactus, right? So all these kind of plants which are basically growing on the land are known as terrestrial plants.
Terrestrial plants. Some plants grow on land and are called terrestrial plants. Terrestrial plants are of different types. Plants in plains. Trees such as neem, mango, banyan grow in plains and have a number of branches and leaves. These trees shed their leaves in winter to protect themselves against cold. Plants in deserts. Some plants such as cactus grow in hot and dry places. In these types of plant, the leaves are reduced to spines. They contain green and fleshy stem. Plant in cold places. Trees such as pines and firs grow in cold places. They are generally tall and straight. They have needle-shaped leaves and produce cones instead of flowers. Plants in hilly areas. Tea plants grow well in hilly areas with plenty of rain. The rainwater flows down the slopes. Plants in hot and humid region. Rubber, coconut, sugarcane, coffee, etc. grow well in hot and humid places. These plants are evergreen and do not shed leaves in a particular season.
Coming to aquatic plants, the plants that grow in water are known as aquatic plants. Now children, there are different types of aquatic plants. That is, all the plants do not grow in the same way in the water bodies. Alright, they grow under different ways. So let us know about the types of aquatic plants. So what are the types of aquatic plants? The types of aquatic plants are floating plants, fixed plants and underwater plants. So floating plants are those plants that float on the surface of the water. Okay, they do not have their roots or they are not fixed under the water. Alright, next we have the fixed plants which have their roots at the underground of the water. They have their roots at the ground of the water, that is under the sea level. So what happens, whatever happens, they are fixed at the place. And then we have underwater plants which grow under the water only. They do not come up to the surface of the water or do not come to the level of the water. So now let's learn more about these types of aquatic plants.
Plants in water. Plants that grow in water are called aquatic plants. Aquatic plants can be grouped as follows. Free-floating aquatic plants. Plants like water hyacinth and water lettuce float freely on the surface of water. They float because they are light and have spongy bodies filled with air. Fixed aquatic plants. Plants like lotus and water lily have their roots fixed to the soil at the bottom of the pond. They have hollow, light, flexible stems that bend in the direction of flowing water. This prevents them from getting damaged or uprooted. They have broad leaves that float on the surface of the water and stomata on the upper surface of the leaves, which prevents water from blocking the pores. Underwater plants. Plants like pondweed and tape grass remain completely submerged underwater. They are also known as submerged plants. Their roots are fixed to the bottom of the pond. They have narrow, ribbon-like leaves with no stomata and breathe through their body surface. Such plants help in cleaning up the water by removing carbon dioxide that is breathed out by aquatic animals. They release oxygen in turn for the aquatic animals.
So children, I hope you all have understood very well the different types of aquatic plants. In our next class, we are going to talk about the different adaptations that are taken up by plants to survive. That is to grow into new matured plants and bear fruits and flowers. Alright, so thank you children. Do read the chapter and learn the important words. Thank you and have a great day ahead.